Chapter 9, Online, aka Digital Media. We're going to look at how online audiences are measured, how online video is different from television, what display banners are, the dynamics behind the search, and why social is different. One of the main reasons online media need to be treated differently is that how we track and measure audiences is different. While Nielsen and Comscore have panels that track traditional media usage metrics, the use of cookies online provides marketers with a trail of consumer behavior. Every time you go online, unless you've turned cookie tracking off on your computer, you provide an identifying mark that allows for website publishers and advertisers alike to follow you wherever you go. Your computer's identifying code is a critical piece of communication to the web server you are requesting, so the website knows who to communicate with. Once the web server replies, a cookie gets attached to mark the computer requested that page. This information is used by publishers and advertisers alike to help to optimize your online experience. Much of this data is what gets sold as third-party information. Digital represents a little more than a quarter of all online spending, with over a third of that going to search. Digital spending is expected to grow and surpass television in the next couple of years, but the majority of that growth is coming from mobile. By 2018, spending on mobile media will account for half of all dollars spent in digital. This dynamic has become famously watched by Mary Meeker in her annual overview of the Internet marketplace. The growth in mobile is an effort by the industry to catch up. As you've learned already, traditional media was all a game of how to reach mass audiences, one-to-many. Through the process of cookie tracking, we no longer have to make assumptions about large groups of people. We can understand smaller, more specific audiences, or one-to-few. Where do people who search for shoes online go before and after their search? Now we're not just trying to reach women 18 to 49 because they buy more shoes. We're actually trying to reach people actively buying shoes. Even better, we can identify which shoes you searched for and establish a one-to-one relationship to show you the exact shoes you want to buy. As you can imagine, this is a great opportunity, but it requires a lot more effort. Along came programmatic buying to solve the problem. Programmatic buying is a way to automate the process. It would be impossible to manually negotiate, buy, and optimize these one-to-few or one-to-one conversations. Programmatic buying is a way to connect the buyer and seller automatically. At the center of the programmatic process are these ad exchanges. They serve as the go-between for the DSP and the SSP to find the right match. Think of a tender for advertising where someone else does the swiping for you. We'll get into more detail in a little while, but think of the DSP as the agency looking for an audience and the SSP as the publisher looking for someone to buy the space they're selling. A data management platform is simply a data storage warehouse. It collects data from web usage to shopping patterns to mobile geolocator patterns. The DMP takes all of that information and organizes and analyzes it to determine who the best prospects might be, and that gets fed into the DSP. The idea of the demand-side platform is simple. You're an agency buyer or planner, and you have determined, based on all of the smart work you did researching your business challenges and consumer segments, that there is a particular type of consumer you want to reach. In television, that may be a male 18 to 34 years old. But with all of the rich data that we have in the digital world, we can get more specific and ask for a male who has searched for running shoes in the last 30 days. That request gets entered into the DSP, which then communicates with the ad exchanges. Think of the ad exchanges as a marketplace where buyers and sellers meet. It's just all done in code, in ones and zeros. The supply-side platform is populated by the publisher side, who knows who their readers and viewers are and is looking for a match. The publisher has ad space to sell, and they want to sell it to the right person. That serves to provide their readers with a better experience because they're seeing ads that are more relevant to them, and they can hopefully charge a premium for it because the person is more likely to take an action on that ad. The ad exchange or ad network, which is similar, shares the information it received from the DSP with the SSP and tries to make a match. If we go back to our television example, you can recall that we determined that the person who would most likely be in the market for our product, in this case it's a new sneaker from Nike, are also most likely to be watching Empire, Survivor, and The Big Bang Theory. So we bought time on each of those shows and hoped that those folks were viewing. While we knew our target audience had a great likelihood to watch the show, we also knew that there were a lot of people watching who would not be interested in our sneaker, but it was the best that we could do. but that is in the model of one to many. In digital, we can narrow that down to one to few. In the digital realm, I can find people that show an interest in the things directly related to my product, things like checking out Nike.com or sneakerhead.com or backpacker.com. All of those sites are related to the type of sneaker I want to sell. So if we compare to the television example, I did a good job with the HH1 in the upper left-hand corner because they searched both Nike.com and backpacker.com. So I know that they're interested in sneakers, in Nike sneakers, and like the kinds of activities this sneaker is built for. So my TV schedule reached the right home there. In HH4, however, top row, fourth one from the left, was probably wasted impressions on TV, as this person is searching Spa Finder and Gap Kids, so probably a mom who isn't spending money on expensive adventure wear right now. So reaching her with my ads on TV probably won't lead to a sale. This is all speaking in generalities, of course, but I can be much more targeted with my digital targeting based on interests that have been shown in those households. When it comes to digital video, it's brought in three main ways: short form or pre-roll video. These are the ads, generally 15 seconds, that air before short form content, less than 10 minutes or greater than 10 minutes. Short form content is usually a little and can usually be between 10 to 15 minutes. They're usually simple lifts of the television created and posted online, with the exception of the clever Geico ads. While YouTube is the king of short form content, be aware that it exists across the web. Many television networks create short form content to host on their sites, and various publishers include video content as well. Most of this content allows for pre-roll advertising to be purchased. The long-form content is greater than 10 minutes. Much of the long-form content is the network programming being offered online. The networks show this throughout their full episode players and serve commercials throughout the content, much in the same way they do offline. The commercial breaks are usually fewer and shorter due to the more focused nature of online video viewing. The final category, which cannot be ignored, is what is known as over-the-top devices. These are the devices that allow you to stream content directly on your television screen. These devices are primarily app-based, and the inventory is sold through the apps, which can be viewed on the OTT devices or on your mobile device. And this will be covered in more detail when we get to the mobile chapter. Digital display primarily consists of banners and search ads. There are many different formats of banner ads which can be explored later on, and we'll also look at the various ways of buying searches. The first thing to understand in banner advertising is the standardized sizes established by the Internet Advertising Bureau. These are the most commonly purchased sizes, and you can find more detail at iab.net. Metrics used for buying banner advertising are the awareness, or CPM, the interest, CPC, the desire, CPA, and the action, the purchase. While display has generally been defined as static ads, know that banner ads can also have motion and sound, and these are rich media and in-banner videos. While Google was not the first search engine, it has grown to be the largest. Part of their ubiquity comes from the fact that from the beginning, they have been focused on the consumer experience. Google was created for what is now known as search engine optimization, or organic search. You type in a phrase or a keyword, and Google uses algorithms to find the sites and the precise pages on the sites that will provide you with the best answer to that question. While they were off creating this great thing, it soon became apparent that they needed to make money to keep it going, so search engine marketing, or paid search, was born. Paid search allows advertisers to pay to make sure that their site appears at the top of the search results. But in keeping with the focus on customer satisfaction, Google created a bidding system that didn't just favor the highest bidder, but also gave preference to the results that best answered the query. It is complicated, but it is the engine that drives Google in all search, and now the social bidding processes. And you can see here the Google bidding process from your price, the ad rank of the person, the score, and the actual CPC, or cost per consumer. Online audio really began with Napster. People started stealing and sharing music online, and while the courts deemed Napster illegal, others went about developing online streaming sites that operated within the legal bounds of artists and royalties, although all of them came with their own bit of controversies. As with all business ventures, they ultimately have to find a way to monetize themselves. Pandora and Spotify are the two largest streaming services, although know that most terrestrial stations are streaming online and selling advertising as well. Not only can you buy advertising on these sites, but advertisers can also curate customized playlists and pay a fee for that as well. The other emerging area of online audio is podcasting. It has become big business, surpassing 1 billion subscribers and seeing the success of such programs as Serial, which had well over 5 million downloads. I like to think of podcasting as the YouTube of audio. Podcasters with large audiences attract interest from brands. Social media is unique in that it too spans all formats: video, display, audio, and mobile, and it also delivers across paid, owned, and earned. A brand owns their own social media profile, whether that is a Facebook page, a Twitter feed, or a Snapchat name. The owned asset can be promoted through paid posts, and if they can encourage engagement amongst their fans, they earn media through people talking about and sharing brand content. There is not comparing ad revenue versus Facebook. That is largely driven by the fact that there's no comparing the reach of Facebook or the targeting capabilities of Facebook to anything else. It is also important to recognize that Facebook operates its own ad exchange. That means you can target consumers based on their Facebook activity on websites across the internet. Snapchat is the darling of most college students. It's often their preferred social network, and therefore they believe that most media consumption occurs on Snapchat. And Snapchat is doing a lot of great and interesting things and is one to watch. However, they have dipped their toes lightly into advertising, making sure to remain authentic to their users, and they're facing a new threat from Instagram Stories, which is a direct ripoff from Snapchat. So stay tuned to see what happens there. Each social network services a distinct purpose. While Facebook is the largest social network, LinkedIn was actually the first. LinkedIn is all about professionalism and networking and should be treated that way. Facebook is the mass social network, where many of the conversations and sharing happen. Due to its size, Facebook is generally seen as a way to stay in touch with friends and family alike. People are sharing photos, milestone updates, and general commentary. And Twitter was developed when most people had feature phones and were still texting off of a numerical keypad. That made the 140 character limit sensible. Twitter's shining moment was when Sully landed the plane on the Hudson River. Much of the reliable updates were reported via Twitter first. Pinterest's heritage was a visual, almost scrapbooking kind of sharing site, and remains primarily female skewed. Instagram was a 100% visual site, and remains that today. Google Plus is a sleeping giant. It boasts broad coverage, but most users don't even know that they're being counted. When Google wants to wake up Google Plus, they will. And we continue to build out the map with digital media. From the awareness, consideration, purchase, experience, repurchase, loyalty, and advocacy. Let me know if you have any questions about online media.